That was a flop. Good evening, Jarrell Cougar football fans, and welcome to SHN's broadcast of Jarrell Cougar football. Tonight's contest between the Jarrell Cougars and the Little River Academy Bumblebees. Little River comes into tonight 3-5-1, 2-2 in district. Jarrell 3-4 and 1-2 in district. We'll take one moment for the national anthem, and we'll be right back with you. You're listening to Jarrell Cougar football on SHN Sports. Good evening once again, friends, and we're glad that you're with us tonight as we bring you Jarrell Cougar football. I'm Michael Francis, and alongside me tonight is Thomas Montemayor, and we are just about set. The Cougars won the toss and have elected to receive to start the game. So tonight's action does have playoff implications as the district standings. Cameron Yo sits atop the district standings, 6-1, 3-0 in district. Followed by Troy, 6-2, 3-1 in district. And Rockdale, 5-2 and 2-1 in district, which seemingly has the top three spots sewed up. Just behind them, Academy, 2-2 in district, and Jarrell, 1-2 in district. So this game right here could tie these two teams up for the fourth spot in the district standings. Carlos Hernandez, the sophomore, set to kick off for the Bumblebees. Back deep for the Cougars, Compton and Crathers. The kick off the foot of Hernandez into the hands of Joseph Crathers, who gets up to the 25-yard line. As the Cougars take possession to get the game started. And in just a moment, we'll see who will be the starting quarterback for the Jarrell Cougars, as Anthony Brown was injured in the game versus Yo.
Aaron Hernandez has took the starting position back. Anthony Brown split into the wide receiver spot.
Okay. Hernandez has the ball. He hands off a little trick ration play. Has the bobbled handoff between Crathers and I want to say Charles Huerta. Huerta jumps on it and recovers it. And it'll bring up second down and about 14. Hernandez throws the ball, trying to hit Schamberger, but the ball was thrown low. That'll bring up 3rd and 14. Third and 14 for the Jarrell Cougars. 11:16 left in the first. Snap back, handoff to Aaron Rodriguez. Gains about 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down and 9. Fourth and 9 for the Cougars. I can't see what number that is. High snap. The punter puts it up in the air. It's back. Takes a Cougar roll and keeps rolling down to the Bumblebee 27-yard line. And the Bumblebees will take over at the 27, and they will travel from right to left with their first possession. Kind of a rough start to the first series.
Yeah, it seems like Jarrell was not in sync at all. They couldn't get anything going offensively.
Jarrell coming off of a bye. As the last game they dropped to Cameron Yo. Snap back to the quarterback. He hands off to Johnny Rouse, who loses 2 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 12. 2nd down and 12 from the 25-yard line. Jerry Cephas, the sophomore quarterback for the Bumblebees, from the shotgun, takes a snap, passes over the middle. It's picked off by the Cougars. Number 54, Devin Warren. No, I'm sorry, Matthew Arnold with the interception. And the Jarrell Cougars take possession at the 22-yard line of the Bumblebees.
Hold on, sir. We do have laundry on the field.
Offsides on the Cougars, and that will negate the interception by Arnold. And we'll tack on a 5-yard penalty from the 25-yard line. That'll move the ball up to the 30. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Bumblebees. Trips left. Cephas from the shotgun. The snap, drops back, puts it up in the air, and it is hauled down by Carlos Hernandez, the sophomore. That's a huge gain for the Bumblebees, and that'll take it all the way down to the Cougar 30. A huge pickup right there, Thomas.
That was a pickup, what, 40 yards?
First and 10 for Academy. Little movement, but I didn't see a flag thrown. Cephas with the keeper. He's through the left side and into the end zone for the touchdown. I thought for sure they were going to throw a flag on that as there was motion on the left side of the line. But it goes uncalled. Bumblebees will line up for the PAT as Carlos Hernandez is set to kick the extra point. The snap and hold is good. The kick is through the uprights and is good, and that'll make the score 7-0 Academy with 9:01 left in the first. So misfortune falls toward the Cougars as the Cougars had an interception but was flagged with the offsides penalty to negate the interception, and then Academy turns the field and takes it in within 3 plays to the house. 7-0 Academy. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Booth This Way for sponsoring Jarrell Cougar football. Bring life to your party with photos from Booth This Way. Photos from Booth This Way create enjoyable memories that will last a lifetime. Jarrell Special, 4 hours for only $400. This includes unlimited 2x6 prints, a USB memory stick, and an upgraded backdrop. For more information, visit BoothThisWay.com. That's BoothThisWay.com. A special thanks to Wayne Turner and Booth This Way for your generous support of Jarrell Cougar football. Crathers and Compton back deep for the Cougars. Kick off the foot of Hernandez. And it's in the hands of Joseph Crathers. Gains about 2 yards and gets up to the 25-yard line. And that'll be 1st and 10 for the Jarrell Cougars with 8:54 left in the first. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. And definitely need to see some better production offensively for the Cougars.
Oh, yeah, it seems like the Cougars, I don't know if they have like pregame jitters or what the deal is, but they definitely got to find their rhythm and get in sync.
Aaron Rodriguez takes the snap, passes out flats for Joseph Crathers. Crathers just gets back to the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Cougars. Rodriguez looks to the sidelines for the play. Cougars from the near hash. Bumblebees, 3 men up on the line. Snap back to Rodriguez. He hands off to Compton. Compton through the right side of the line. He bumbles, and picks up the 1st down as he gains 11 yards on the play. 1st and 10, Cougars from the 32-yard line. Cougars working exclusively from the spread. Snap back to Rodriguez, hands off to Compton. Round on the left side and is tackled for a loss of about 2 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 12 yards. Second down and 12 from the 35-yard line. Snap back to Rodriguez. He passes out in the flats and goes incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down and 12 for the Cougars. Miscommunication on that one, Thomas, as there was no receiver in the area.
Joseph Carruthers was actually the intended receiver, number 21. He's just small. He was covered up by them big defensive backs from Academy.
Snap back to Rodriguez.
Should be a free play.
Snap or the throw.
Receiver was not even looking for the ball.
Schamberger was wide open, and it was over the wrong shoulder as he was looking inside, and it was over his left shoulder. That'll bring up 4th down and 12. And the Cougars will punt.
And there was no flag thrown for encroachment.
Can you see who's punting, Thomas?
Looks like it's number 22.
It'll be Jasper Compton with the punting duties. And it takes another Cougar roll. And it is downed by Christopher Pursley at the 37-yard line, and the Bumblebees will take over. Official timeout is called. 1st and 10 for the Bumblebees. 7:07 left in the first quarter.
Jarrell's going to need a huge stop from this defense. Jarrell has to get the offense the ball back.
Big explosive plays have hurt the Cougars. They did good against the Cameron in situations last week. Number 6, Johnny Rouse around the right side. Looks like he was close to the first down, may have picked it up. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Jerry Cephas, the quarterback for the Bumblebees. Johnny Rouse to his left. He hands back off to Rouse around out right side, and he's going to pick up another first down, a gain of about 11 yards as he gets to the sideline. And constantly moving the chains with each carry so far during this series. Running outside and not running up the middle so far are the Bumblebees. 1st and 10 from the 40. Cephas has the snap. He drops back, and he will be swallowed up, and he spins around and gets away from the Cougars as they had him about 6 yards deep and about had him sacked, Thomas.
Looks like he turned a big loss into a 1-yard gain.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 9. For the Bumblebees, as the Cougars definitely had the blitz coming on. Second down and 9 from the Cougar 41. Lone setback. Cephas drops back, and he has plenty of time. He lofts it up in the air, and it was caught, and it's in for a touchdown. And I will tell you who caught that here in just a second.
Number 22.
Number 22, Jordan Carter, the senior, with the touchdown reception. And that's surprising. I thought he was well covered by the Jarrell defender.
He was well covered, but that quarterback just properly placed that ball. He hit the outside shoulder, and it was only catchable by the receiver.
Carlos Hernandez on to kick the extra point. Good snap and hold through the uprights. And the Bumblebees take a 14-0 lead with 5:57 left in the first. Well, the Cougars definitely have their hands full tonight.
Yeah, the Cougars are not nowhere near in sync for tonight's game. To me, it almost seems like they're playing lost.
Like maybe just a little bit of rust coming off of the bye.
Yeah, you figured with the bye week, the Cougars had a lot more time to prepare for this game and would be fired up and be dominating, but that is not the case tonight.
As explosive plays from the Bumblebees have taken its toll against the Cougars. Joseph Crathers and Jasper Compton back deep for your Cougars, as Carlos Hernandez is set to kick off for the Academy Bumblebees. .5:57 left in the first, with Academy leading the Cougars 14-0. Hernandez set and puts toe to leather, and it's a deep kick back towards the 7-yard line. Crathers has it, and he's up to the 25. He spins around. He's the 30 spin, makes another spin, and goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. What a heck of a return by Joseph Crathers. Picks up the 37-yard kickoff return. 1st and 10 from their own 40. That may be just a spark that the Cougars needed to get a little momentum going here and see if they can answer back to these two Bumblebee touchdowns.
I mean, definitely you need something either from your offense or your defense. Somebody's got to make a game-changing play.
Aaron Rodriguez from the shotgun. He throws left to Crathers. Crathers has it, and he's up to the 45.5-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 5.5 yards. Actually, they're going to spot it to the 46. That'll be a pickup of 6. 2nd down and 4 for the Jarrell Cougars. Snap back to Rodriguez. He hands off to Compton. Compton around the left side, and he gets by the Bumblebee defender. He will pick up the 1st down as he gets to the sideline. I believe he got to the 51. Not 51, what am I saying? 49.
Hey, keep it going. Let's go.
Come on, Francis. Come on, man. Come on, man. This is a football game. You don't keep going increasing in numbers. To the 48-yard line of the Bumblebees. 1st and 10. Rodriguez hands off to Compton, who's through the right side, as he's just running power football right now, and picks up 6 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and 4 for the Jarrell Cougars. Come on, man. Francis, you got to do better than that, son. 51-yard line. I've heard it all. Rodriguez looks to the sidelines. He picks up the call. He hands off to Compton, who's back through the right side and picks up about 3 of those yards, and that'll bring down a manageable 3rd down and 1 for the Cougars. 3rd down and 1 from the Bumblebee 39. Crathers spread out wide. Compton the lone back. Rodriguez takes a snap. He hands off to Compton, who's through the left side of the line. Just grinds up the middle. Oh, there's a flag, a late flag. Be interesting to see what this call is, Thomas. Compton did pick up the 1st down.
I wonder if it's going to be like a late hit, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Be a gain of 4. Looks like they're pointing at the Bumblebees, and they're backing up.
Yeah, it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct, late hit.
Face mask. That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
That's a huge, huge penalty, especially with the Cougars starting to gain momentum.
Because right now, Joseph Compton is, Jasper Compton.
Are you
It's
feeling
just,
okay tonight?
I guess I'm not.
We got a 51-yard line.
and
We're getting our
a
running
wrong
backs
name.
crossed.
I know it. It's either Joseph or Jasper.
It's Friday. We won't blame it on Monday. We'll blame it on Friday.
My bye week was bad too. Rodriguez has it. He's going to keep up the middle. He picks up about 8-9 yards on the play as the ground game of the Jarrell Cougars has woke up. Hello, everybody. That'll bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Cougars. Compton, the lone setback. Rodriguez throws out to Crothers in the flats. He's open, and he's going to score. Crothers with the reception, and the Bumblebees were laying off, and he just walks it in for the score. A great offensive series. Yeah, he dove, but there was no question he was going to pick that up.
Oh, yeah, he had it in his mind to do it.
Jesus Perez on to kick the extra point. The snap and hold are good. The kick is up and through the uprights. And the Cougars have cut this score in half, 14-7. With 3:12 left in the first for the Jarrell Cougars. That's what we've needed to see out of the Cougars. Some confidence and some power offense, Thomas.
Well, hopefully with this offense finding a rhythm this series, this defense will wake up and start playing some good defensive ball. Defense needs to come up big right now to get their offense to the ball again.
Well, the defense has played well over the past 2 games versus the gauntlet of the district, Troy and Cameron. They've held their own, and they kept Cameron out of the end zone on numerous occasions. In the red zone, they came up and didn't pick up any points. Unfortunately, the Cougar offense couldn't generate any traction and would turn the ball back over. But the defense was rising to the occasion. Jesus Perez on to kick off. Back deep for the Cougars. The Bumblebees. Bryce Tamez and Jalen McWilliams. I totally missed the kickoff on that. What happened?
It looked like it hit one of the Bumblebees players and jetted out of bounds because there is no flag for illegal procedure. The Cougars had a chance to recover the kick and get the offensive ball back. Oh, there is a flag.
Interesting to see what it'll be.
Offsides on the Cougars. Are we going to re-kick
That's kind of what an illegal motion signal, wasn't it?
Well, that's a false start.
Is that a false start?
Yeah. We're not re-kicking.
Interesting.
Defense, all right. Defense is going to have to. Oh, wait a minute. They're moving the ball up to the 49.
To the 49-yard line of the Bumblebees as they will take possession at midfield. Jerry Cephas gets his offense back out on the field. To his right is Johnny Rouse. Encroachment by the defense. Johnny Rouse has the ball through the right side, and he's just running over Cougars, and he is tackled and forced out of bounds by James Wright. James Wright possibly saving a touchdown run right there, as Rouse picks up the first down for the Bumblebees. First and 10 from the Cougar 30. defense really needs to rise up. They don't need to let these guys score. They can climb back in this and even this game up. Empty set for the Bumblebees. Cephas. Timeout called by the Cougars. As coaches obviously didn't like what they were seeing with the empty set. And give the defense just a moment to catch their breath and get some encouragement or admonishment from Coach Davidson. It's a beautiful night for football here in Jarrell, Texas, and we're glad you're with us. You're listening to Jarrell Cougar Football on SHN Sports. Once again, I'm Michael Francis, and alongside Thomas Montemayor as we bring you Jarrell Cougar Football. We'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Prime Computers. Prime Computers is excited to be a new part of the Jarrell community. We're easily located next to Sphere Realty on Sunterra Boulevard or online at primecomputers.com. From virus removal to hardware repair, we hope you will choose Prime Computers for your computer needs. Definitely want to take the opportunity to thank our sponsor. Once again, an empty set for Jerry Cephas and the Bumblebees. Snap back, he drops back. He's going to keep, he takes it up the middle. And it looked like he slipped or tripped over his own feet.
Yeah, it looked like what they call the turf monster got it.
Because he didn't go down because somebody tackled him.
That was a penalty. Could be a hold.
It definitely looks that way. That's the 10-yard variety right there.
Yep. Hold on the Bumblebees.
That'll bring up 1st and 20 for the Bumblebees. Maybe that's why he went ahead and tripped up and went down.
Yeah, maybe.
So he's like, you know what, I'm going to give all that effort if it's coming back. Because it looked like he had a possibility to take it to the house. Cephas gets the snap. He hands off to Jordan Carter.
No, it was a quarterback keep.
Oh, did he keep it?
He kept it.
Man, he fooled me.
He picked up 3 yards.
They sold the fake as Carter looked like he took the handoff and went around the right side. And picks up, what, maybe 1?
Well, he picked up 2.
He picked up 2, so that'll bring up second down and 18. Snap back to Cephas. Throws it through the hands of Evan Barabbas. Incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down and 18 for the Bumblebees from the Cougar 37-yard line. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Jordan Carter to the right of Cephas, drops back. He puts this one up in the air, and it's over the head of Britt Malden. Just a little too much lead on that one, Thomas.
Yes, it brings up 4th and a mile. And it doesn't look like Academy's pulling their offense off the field.
Well, this is the stand that the Cougars, defensive stand the Cougars needed. And if they can get this turnover on downs, this would definitely be some more momentum in the Cougars' favor. Carter to the right. Cephas passes over the screen. Carter is tackled by a host of Cougars, and that'll be a turnover on downs at the 35-yard line as the Cougar defense holds. And the Cougars will take over 1st and 10. Trailing by 7 with 1:44 left in the first.
It definitely looks like the Cougars are starting to find their rhythm. They're waking up on both offense and defense. That's a huge stop for this Cougar defense.
Huge stop for this Cougar defense. And this Cougar offense did work on their last possession as Crothers took it to the house. Says, cut this score in half, 14-7 Academy. Here in the first quarter, Rodriguez has the snap. He hands off to Compton. Compton through the right side. He picks up about 5 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Cougar offense. Find out official timeout. Looks like Compton is coming off the field. I believe Franco has just entered the game. Can you tell if that's a 24 or 29?
Which one?
The running back to the right or to the left of Rodriguez.
I'll let you know.
Snap back to Rodriguez, throws over to Crothers out in the flats, who gets back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5. For the Cougars. Wetter comes in. Twins left and right. Rodriguez takes a step back. He puts it in the hands of Schamberger. Schamberger picks up the 1st down. And he is brought down at the 49-yard line of the Bumblebees. 1st and 10, Jarrell Cougars. Notice I didn't make that mistake last time, right?
The 51-yard line?
Right? Come on, man. You got to do better than that.
I'm going to send that clip to ESPN so they can use that like, come on, man.
Come on, man. The end of the first quarter as Academy leads the Jarrell Cougars 14-7. You're listening to Jarrell Cougar Football on SHN Sports. Once again, we would like to thank our sponsors, Booth This Way and Prime Computers, for their generous support of Jarrell Cougar Football. So once again, nice reception by Schamberger. Picks up the 1st down and keeps the legs driving and extends the play to get to the 49-yard line of the Bumblebees. Cougars don't have to move far at the 49-yard line. Changing quarters. Snap back to Rodriguez. He drops back. It's going to be picked off by the Bumblebees. The receiver slipped down, and number 8, Dalton Head, was right in position for the interception. And gets it back to the 41-yard line of the Bumblebees, as the Cougar defense seems maybe a little confused. I think they thought they were on the other side. They were getting on the offensive side of the ball. Now they're back in place. 1st and 10 for the Bumblebees. Jerry Cephas and Johnny Rouse. Looks like it's going to be a false start. Now they're calling offsides on the Cougars. Bring up 1st and 5. This is definitely not what the Cougars need, Thomas. The one thing that has haunted the Cougars has been self-inflicted wounds with needless penalties.
Yeah, that's definitely not, especially when you're trailing 14-7, that's something you definitely don't need is foolishness on a penalty like that. You got to be able to control yourself and go make a play.
You're in this game, and those kind of mistakes can take this game away from you. Rouse to the left to Cephas. Snap back, hands off to Rouse. Rouse corralled by the Cougars, able to pick up about 2 yards on the carry. That'll bring up 2nd down and 3. Second down and 3 from the 49-yard line. 11:31 left in the second quarter. Carter comes in for Rouse. Cephas drops back. He throws out to the flats to Hernandez. And Hernandez is brought down, but will pick up the 1st down as the tackle kind of took him back, but forward progress got him down to the 43-yard line of the Cougars and the 1st down.
That corner on that side is giving him too much cushion. Look, he's giving him away. 7 yards, 8 yards. He's giving him an 8-yard cushion.
Cephas has a snap. He hands off to Coleman Berg. Coleman Berg around the end. He'll pick up about 4 yards, maybe 3 as they walk it back. It'll be a 3-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7. For the Bumblebees to the 40-yard line. I'm not sure the ref called time, but
I think, you know, in high school football, if they feel a kid is injured, they can stop the game to get him out. I think that's what happened.
That may be what happened. Empty set for Cephas. Trips to the right. Snap back to Cephas. Throws out to Evan Barabbas, who picks up the 1st down. Be a gain of 7 yards. 1st and 10. Bumblebees as they're driving methodically right now. Once again, Cephas going with the empty set. Trips to his left. Snap to Cephas. He drops back. He's going to launch this one up in the air. And the Cougar defender, number 23, Martin Torres, knocks the ball away from the receiver, Britt Malden. If he hadn't knocked it in, that would have been a touchdown right there.
Good defensive stop. Now it just needed to come up with 2 more to create a 4th down.
Timing route by the Bumblebees that didn't work out. Great effort by Torres. It's again empty set. The blitz is on. Cephas around the corner. He's still on his feet, and he's driving down to, it's like the 22-yard line, which would be another Bumblebee first down. Looked like there was some holding going on.
That's twice I've seen holding.
As Matthew Arnold comes through on the blitz, and the lineman had him held up by the shoulder pads, and no flag was thrown. Johnny Rouse back in for the Bumblebees to the right of Cephas. Snap back to Cephas, who keeps it, and he gets tackled for a sack in the backfield. That will be a loss of 2 yards. Second down and 12 for the Bumblebees. It's like what we were seeing versus Cameron. Once the offense gets into the red zone, the defense of the Cougars steps up. Second down and 12. Snap back to Cephas. He's looking for a receiver. Once again, he's going for Malden in the end zone. And that is broken up by a Cougar defender. That'll be number 8, Troy Douglas. Troy Douglas upset with himself that he didn't make the interception, but what an excellent defensive effort by Mr. Douglas. Third and 12 for the Bumblebees. Snap back to Cephas. This is going to be in the end zone. And caught by number 35.
I don't care. That was a spectacular
Tegan
catch.
Jones. What a leaping, diving catch by Tegan Jones. Pick up the touchdown. What an outstanding effort on the third down and 12 play. Looks like they're going to go for 2. Cephas keeps it. He finds his receiver in the end zone. Number 15, Britt Malden, for the 2-point conversion. And Academy now leads 22-7. Definitely not what needed to happen right there, as the turnover on the interception has now turned into points. 8 points to be exact. But the Cougars can't let that stop them. They've got to turn that momentum around and make something happen. .8:17 left in the second quarter, with your Cougars trailing by 15. Carlos Hernandez on to kick off for the Bumblebees. Back deep for your Cougars, Joseph Crothers and Jasper Compton. The kick from Hernandez is a short kick, and it's guess that's Christopher Pursley, who waved for the fair catch and then botched the reception, and it goes out of bounds. So the Cougars will take over at their own 33-yard line. First and 10, Jarrell, with 8:14 remaining in the half, trailing 22-7. Aaron Rodriguez leads his offense back out on the field. Jasper Compton to his right. The snap and a flag. Play is held up. And it looks like a false start. Against the Cougars. That'll bring up first down and 15 for your Jarrell Cougars. Cougars have the ball on the 27-yard line. Snap back to Rodriguez, hands off to Compton. Compton through the right side and picks up about 4. That'll bring up second down and 11. Compton is a hard runner, and he tries to run downhill as much as possible. Snap back to Rodriguez. He drops back, throws over the middle. He finds Schamberger. Schamberger with the catch, and he'll be short of the line of gain by 2 yards. That'll bring up third down and 2, which is much more manageable than a third down and 11. Actually, they give him another yard. It's going to be third down and 1 for the Cougars. Gave him forward progress. Aaron takes a snap. He hands off to Compton. Compton through the middle, and he just bull in a china shop as he picks up about 8 yards, just shy of the 50-yard line, and another Cougar first down. The Cougars have been effective on the ground ever since their first possession of the night. Charles Ware comes in. Compton to the right of Rodriguez. Drops back, rolls left. He puts this one up in the air, and this one's picked off by the Bumblebees. And that pickoff was by Deshaun Robinson, the senior. Another turnover, as it was a 50-50 ball at that point between Schamberger and Robinson.
That was just a poor decision-making by the Cougar quarterback there.
Academy will take over at the 13-yard line. First and 10, 6:28 remaining in the second quarter for the Bumblebees. Empty set for Cephas. Trips to his left, twins to his right. He drops back 2 steps. He's going to keep it and go up the middle. And he is going to pick up about 4 yards on the carry. That'll bring up second down and 6 for the Bumblebees. The Bumblebees running with an empty set a lot here in the first half. Once again, they run it. They throw it out to Jalen McWilliams. McWilliams will pick up 3 more yards. That'll bring up third down and 3. ball spotted at the 22-yard line. Johnny Rouse to the left. Snap back to Cephas. He hands off to Rouse. Rouse maybe picks up. Maybe just gets back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th down and 3. And the Bumblebees will punt for the first time tonight. Back deep for the Cougars. Crathers and Torres. Snap back to Hernandez. Puts this one up in the air. It takes a Bumblebee roll and will be down at the 39-yard line of the Cougars. 1st and 10 for the Cougars with 4:14 remaining in the second quarter. Please stay with us through halftime as we will present both bands for your halftime entertainment. Aaron Rodriguez and the Cougar offense back on the field. Compton and Crathers to either side of Rodriguez. He hands off to Crathers. Crathers around the left side. Gets up to the 48-yard line. And brings up 2nd down and 1. Nine-yard gain by Crathers. Rodriguez looks to the sideline. Takes the snap. He hands off to Compton. Compton up the middle. He's still on his feet. He fumbles the ball, and it looks like it goes over to the Bumblebees.
No, Cougars maintain possession.
Did he maintain it?
Yeah, Joseph Carruthers, our number 24. Who's 24?
That's Charles Huerta.
What I jumped right on the ball. It was a scramble, but he held on to it.
That is definitely a plus for the Cougars. They didn't need to turn that ball over as Compton lost the handle on it, but he did pick up the first down.
It looks like we have an official timeout. They're talking with the Academy head coach.
I think Academy is arguing that they had possession when they were down, and Huerta just happened to be in the right place at the right time and wrestled it away from him. And trying to figure out what was going on there in that conversation between the two coaches and the head referee. The clock starts to run. Rodriguez with Compton to his left, hands off to Compton. Compton around to the right side. He will lose some yardage. He loses about 3 yards on the carry as he kept trying to find the edge, and the Bumblebee defense was a wall, and he just could not get around. Actually loses 4. That'll bring up 2nd down and 14 for the Jarrell Cougars. Rodriguez hands off to Crathers. Crathers will be tackled behind the line.
The Cougars are going the wrong way. That is a loss of 4 yards.
Well, the near ref only had him lose about 2, so it looks like we're at 3rd down and 16. 3rd down and 16 for the Cougars. Aaron Rodriguez has the snap. He rolls left. He's looking for a receiver. Keeps it. He's taking the ball, and he is still on his feet. He's around to the right side. He picks up the first down.
He got a good block.
My goodness.
Joseph Carruthers threw a holy moly block.
3rd down and 16. And Rodriguez stays on his feet, and he just makes hay out of the Bumblebee defense. Rodriguez with the keeper up the middle. He will be gang tackled. Well, he picks up about a yard. That'll bring up 2nd down. And 9. Second down and 9 for the Cougars. Rodriguez looks to the sidelines for the play. Compton and Crowthers on either side. He hands off to Crowthers. Crowthers around the left side. Stays on his feet trying to get the corner. Looks like he might have picked up 2 more yards. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7. .146 remaining in the half. The Cougars call a timeout, as they definitely would like to get this score in before they go into the half and at least cut into that score.
Yeah, well, you know, there's 2 ways you can look at this. You can either go down by 7, right? If they go for 2, that makes it
7.
15-22, which is a touchdown. Or they can go down by 8. I mean, I'd rather be down that than by 15 right now.
Well, if they can score, because the Bumblebees will receive in the second half to start the second half, but it would definitely be some big momentum going into halftime. Rodriguez in the shotgun with Compton to his left. Looks to the sidelines, picks up the snap, hands off to Compton. Compton up the middle. And he looks like he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th down and 7. At this point, you have to go for it.
Oh yeah, you're in 4th down territory from here on out for the rest of the half. Well, as long as you're past the 51-yard line. I had to throw that one in there.
Way to go, bro.
You looked at me like, what are you talking about?
No, I knew. I'm like, oh, man, I don't think I'm ever going to live this down. Oh, my goodness, 51-yard line. Come on, man.
Hey, you got to have a little football humor every now and then, right?
Well, I do a lot of counting in my job. Looks like the Cougars called timeout. That should be their final timeout of the half. 4th and 7 for the Cougars with 54 seconds remaining in the half. Which, if they could score here, would be a big shot in the arm going into halftime. As the Bumblebees pretty much have controlled from the opening kickoff. As they shut Jarrell down to a 4-and-out and scored on their first possession of the game. Like the Bumblebees in a prevent defense here.
No, they're going to play man and come with the blitz.
Come with the blitz. Rodriguez
Just threw it
throws behind Schamberger. Falls to the ground, incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for Academy. 49 seconds remaining as Academy takes over at the 27-yard line.
That quarterback, Aaron Rodriguez, he's going to have to learn to lead these receivers. If he'd have hit that slant, his receiver could have probably broke away.
And threw it behind him. Like you said, if it had been leading him, that could have been a score right there.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet Academy's going to try to go deep.
Empty set for the Bumblebees. Cephas with a deep pass, almost picked off by the Cougars, and that was Martin Torres. Hands that it ended up going through. That'll stop the clock with 42 seconds. 2nd down and 10 for the for the Bumblebees. Snap back to Cephas. He drops back. He's looking for a receiver. Passes out to Malden in the flats. Makes the catch right at the line of gain. Maybe just a tad bit short. Well, they give him the 1st down. So that'll be 1st and 10 for the Bumblebees. Malden works the sideline to stop the clock. 36 seconds remaining in the half.
Academy's going to try to go take a shot here. Oh,
that's going to be a false start. That false start courtesy of Kendall the Crew, the senior. That'll bring up 1st and 15 for the Bumblebees. "35 seconds with 1 tick of the clock." Goes off with that penalty. Jordan Carter to the left of Jerry Cephas. Takes a snap. He drops back, looking for a receiver. He's scrambling around, and he will be sacked by the Cougars. Looks like a timeout will be called. That's
no,
sack.
We got a penalty flag.
Is there a penalty flag?
Yes.
We'll say that sack was
number 50.
Is it number 50?
Yes.
Devin Warren. Looks like this is going to be walked off against the Cougars.
What are they calling?
Defensive holding?
Wow.
Defensive holding. That'll bring up
Is that carrying
first
automatic
down.
First down?
I believe so.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that it would be a first down. So that would bring 2nd down and should be 2nd down and 5 with a 10-yard walk-off, right? Some confusion here with the chains and the call. It's unusual to see defensive holding.
Well, it was 1st and 15 with a 10-yard walk-off. It becomes 1st and 5.
Right. So simple arithmetic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured it would be. I don't know why we have this confusion with the chains.
2nd down and 5. Snap back to Cephas. Throws over to his receiver, out in the flat, Coleman Berg. Berg will pick up the first down as he goes out of bounds at the 49-yard line of the Cougars. Or was that the 51-yard line of the Bumblebees?
51 sounds better.
That's the 51-yard line of the Bumblebees. 20 seconds now remain in the first half. Snap back to Cephas. He rolls to his right, looking for a receiver. He lofts this one and finds his receiver at the 9-yard line. He makes the catch. Number 4, Coleman Berg with the reception. Timeout called by the Bumblebees as they have a first down at the Cougar 9-yard line with 9 seconds remaining.
I do not see how these refs are not seeing the hold. Matthew Arnold, every time he comes through the line, is being held.
Because the ones I've seen, the lineman grabs him at the shoulder pads and is actually lifting him up. I'm not sure how you call that how you don't call that a hold. Maybe he's not grabbing jersey, he's just lifting the pads, and they're not seeing a tug of any type of material.
I don't see how not.
Johnny Rouse to the right of Jerry Cephas. Timeout called again by the Bumblebees. I believe that's their final. Nine seconds remain with Academy leading the Jarrell Cougars 22-7 here in the second quarter. Bumblebees driving. They're at the 9-yard line, first and goal. Once again, we'd like to remind you that we will be streaming the performances of both bands live during the halftime show. Please stay with us as we will recap and then give it over to the bands. Set to get this rolling once more. Jordan Carter to the right of Cephas. Cephas drops back. He's looking for a receiver. He scrambles to his left, and he will be brought down by Devin Warren. 1 second left on the clock. And I guess the Bumblebees had one timeout left. That was it. We'll most likely see Carlos Hernandez come out to kick an extra point, or not an extra point, but a field goal. He is definitely on the field. Carlos Hernandez sets the tee. Ryan White, the holder. As the Bumblebees line up for the field goal. Good snap and hold. The kick is up. And it's through the uprights. And that's halftime with Academy leading your Jarrell Cougars 25-7 after one half. Well, Thomas, we saw some flashes from the Jarrell Cougars their offense and their defense through the first half, but they could not stay consistent.
Yeah, I think the Cougars, they'd have signs of life, and then the little mental errors that they were committing was just sucking the life out of them. I mean, your quarterback throws 2 interceptions, trying to go deep when there was no need for it on first down. Let's take the short pass and get yards and start chopping away. And, I mean, costly stuff like that will break your spirit.
And you turn over for points, and the Bumblebees have done that, and they've taken a lead here into halftime, 25-7, as they drive down with 54 seconds remaining in the half and are able to get 3 out of that drive to extend their lead to 25-7. So, well, you're listening to Jarrell Cougar Football on SHN Sports. I'm Michael Francis along with Thomas Montemayor, and Jarrell Cougar Halftime Show is about to be presented. But before they do, we would like to thank our sponsors. Booth This Way, bring life to your party with photos from Booth This Way. Photos from Booth This Way will create enjoyable memories that will last a lifetime. A Jarrell special, 4 hours for only $400. This includes unlimited 2x6 prints, a USB memory stick, and an upgraded backdrop. For more information, visit bootthisway.com. That's bootthisway.com. A special thanks to Wayne Turner and Booth This Way for your generous support of Jarrell Cougar football. We would also like to thank Primed Computers. Primed Computers is excited to be a new part of the Jarrell community. We're easily located next to Sphere Realty on Sonterra Boulevard or online at primedcomputers.com. From virus removal to hardware repair, we hope you will choose Primed Computers for your computer needs. And thanks to those sponsors for their generous support of Jarrell Cougar football. And we will now turn it over to the halftime show. Hope you enjoy.
Well, one thing I want to say, our Jarrell Cougar band recently placed first in the area marching contest this week. So big ups to our Jarrell band, and we'll turn it over to them and let the
props to this award-winning band.
Ladies and gentlemen, Academy ISD proudly presents the Academy High School Band. With selections from our 2018 shows featuring the Mysteries of the Nile, written by Barry Hurt. The selections include Hall of Pharaohs, Festival of Isis, The Spooks, and Cleopatra. The band is led on the field by drum majors Kaylee Hester, Candace Williams, and Jenna Wolf. The B band recently performed at the UIL Marching Contest, where they received superior ratings from all of the judges. Ladies and gentlemen, the Academy High School Band. Senior Market of the Week are freshmen Jordan Williams, sophomore Logan Delancey, junior Ian Heitman, senior Ashley Jacobs, color guard Courtney Charles. Let's give a round of applause for the Division I Academy B Band.
Thank you.
You're listening to Jarrell Cougar Football on SHN Sports. I'm Michael Francis alongside Thomas Montemayor as you've just enjoyed the halftime entertainment of both award-winning bands of Little River Academy and Jarrell Cougars. As we're just about to get things started here. It's a nice night for football, especially after all the rain that we've been having here of late.
Yeah, what do we have, like 2 weeks? What do we have, like 2 weeks of rain?
Yeah, it seems quite like it. It's pretty close to 2 weeks of rain, and a whole lot of it. There's a lot of damage out towards Kingsland and the Llano River, wiping out bridges along the way.
Yeah. And you know what the bad thing about it is? Come Sunday, we'll be back in the drought.
You're in Texas. Welcome to Texas, folks. Welcome to Texas. And I work in downtown Austin, so I see the condition of Lake Austin and Lady Bird Lake all the time. And, you know, Austin is under a boil water restriction right now.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen on Facebook where everybody's talking about water sold out all through Travis County.
Oh, yeah, you go in the
people
store and try and find it. And the city of Austin actually has water pickup areas that you can actually drive by and pick up cases of water or fill some of your own water jugs there. City of Fort Worth and city of San Antonio have sent down tankers full of fresh water for Austin residents to utilize, and cases and cases of water. I know on my way home, I drive down Palmer from Mopac, and Kelly Reeves Stadium belongs to the Round Rock Independent School District. The city has a pickup point there, and I drove by and I'm looking out in that parking lot, and I mean, there's pallets and pallets and pallets of drinking water that's available.
You know,
for pickup.
It's real good when stuff like this happens, that, you know, it shows that Southern hospitality is still alive and kicking.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, with everything, with all the current events going in today's world and stuff like that, it's always good to see Southern hospitality.
Right, and see neighbor there for neighbor and helping each other out, and through the devastation of the floods up in the Highland Lake areas. that we've seen is the Bumblebees take the field as they come out of their helmet. And we're just about ready to get the second half started. Jarrell Cougars about to come out of their helmet as well. And here come the Cougars. Well, hopefully Coach Davidson was able to get his Cougars focused and make the necessary adjustments coming out of halftime to get back into this game. You know, they showed, as we discussed earlier, they showed flashes of momentum from time to time and then would make mistakes that would cost them valuable field position or possession and turn it over to the Bumblebees, who would turn it into points. Bumblebees will be receiving to start the second half. As we're just about to get underway, Jarrell kicking team coming out onto the field now. Jesus Perez will be kicking off for the Cougars. Good crowd for both teams tonight, Thomas.
Oh, yeah, it ain't nothing but a 15, 20-minute drive between the two towns tonight.
Next game up for the Cougars will be at Rockdale next week. Little River Academy, their final game will be against Rockdale, and they have a bye week next week. Kick back to the Bumblebees. And the kickoff is returned to the 36-yard line of the Bumblebees by Britt Malden. As we're set to get things going here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 36. 11:53 left in the third quarter as we get started. Defensively, the Cougars have to make the adjustments. They've got to be able to stop the pass and put pressure on the quarterback. Cephas, a very mobile quarterback, and once again, the Bumblebees go empty set. Cephas drops back. He's looking for a receiver.
Ooh,
and he is hit as he makes the throw. That'll be an incomplete pass as once again, Matthew Arnold is in the backfield.
Matthew Arnold's having a heck of a game. He's definitely putting pressure on the quarterback as well as getting
when he's not getting held.
Yeah.
That's probably a good reason why he's getting held right there, Thomas.
Yeah, well, remember he had the interception that was negated.
2nd and 10. Cephas has a snap. He drops back. He puts the ball in the air. It's over the head of a receiver and in and out of the hands of a Jarrell defender. Knocked out. In fact, that was Crowders. He was in the hands of Crowders, and he was knocked out
by Fitzsimmons.
By Fitzsimmons. Johnny Fitzsimmons runs into Crowders as they collide and knocks the interception out of the hands of Crowders. We'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Bumblebees. This will be a good stop for the Cougars if they can put them in a punting situation. Cephas drops back, passes over to Evan Barabbas. Barabbas picks up 4 yards on the carry. That'll bring it up 4th down and 6. A good defensive stand by the Jarrell Cougars to start off the third quarter. And almost had a turnover. Carlos Hernandez on to punt, with Crathers and Torres back deep for the Cougars. Punt hits the ground at the 36 and takes a huge bumblebee roll down to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 from, looks like they're going to spot it right at just short of the 25-yard line. 10:48 left in the third, but that's got to be a moral victory for the Cougars right there.
That's what I was going to say. That is a real big defensive stop by this defense coming out from halftime and taking care of business. Now let's see if the offense can feed off that momentum and get it going.
Aaron Rodriguez and the Cougar offense back on the field. Rodriguez hands off to Compton. Compton around on the left side. He is stopped right at the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Jarrell Cougar Football on SHN Sports. I'm Michael Francis alongside Thomas Montemayor. Rodriguez takes a snap, pitches out to Compton. Compton tries to get around the corner, but is driven back. That'll be a loss of 4 on the play. Bring up 3rd down and 14. Third down and 14 for the Cougars. Compton to the right of Rodriguez. Rodriguez looks over his line. He drops back. He's looking for his receiver. He rolls left. He's past the 20. He's out to the 25, 27-yard line, and ball is knocked out of his hands and goes out of bounds. That'll be a pickup of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down and 7. Compton on to punt the ball here on 4th down. The snap, the punt is up, and takes a Cougar roll, and the returner picks it up, Jalen McWilliams, and he's going to take it to the house.
You know, but what they didn't see is the ball actually bounced up and hit a Cougar in the chest. So
I saw that too.
So it should have been down.
Should have been a dead ball at the spot. Cephas remains on the field, as it looks like they will be going for a 2-point conversion. The Wildcat is snapped to Carter, and Carter will not make it. And the score will remain 31-7 Academy, with 8:54 remaining in the third quarter. Most unfortunate that the officiating crew totally missed that, as the ball did. It hit off the chest.
That was a dead ball
Of the punt team, and should have been a dead ball at the spot where it hit.
This officiating crew is missing a lot of stuff.
So instead of a possession, the Cougars are ready to receive the kickoff. And the Bumblebees enjoy a 24-point lead over the Jarrell Cougars. Carlos Hernandez on to kick. Short kick. Fair catch called for and muffed by Jarrell. And that was muffed by Christopher Pursley, who muffed or lost it the last kickoff. He was calling for the fair catch once again. So we have an official timeout on the field. For an injury. So the kickoff was muffed by Pursley and appears to have been recovered by Academy. Jalen McWilliams. The chain crew has not moved yet. It looks like they're going to line up and re-kick. Not seen an explanation from the officials. So, did you see anything, Tom?
I didn't see anything. Unless the ball went out of bounds.
Maybe that was it. Well, I don't. He looked inbounds when he caught it.
Yeah, but if it muffed and hit the outside line, it's technically out of bounds. So I don't know. I mean,
Carlos Hernandez set to kick off. Boots this one short and shallow. A fair catch is called for and made by Franco. 1st and 10 for the Cougars from the 40-yard line with 8:49 left in the third quarter. Cougars need to generate some offense and do what they did back in the first. They had the power run game working for them and made some pass attempts that turned into interceptions, which turned into points. Rodriguez back out on the field. He'll hand off, and no, he's going to keep as he tries to roll to the left, and he will be dragged down. A loss of 5. That'll bring up 2nd down and 15. Second down and 15 for the Cougars, as they're doing what they did earlier and moving backwards, and definitely not the direction they need to go. Rodriguez has a snap. He's looking for his receiver. He puts it up in the air. It's going to be picked off. This could go back to the house. Number 20, Corbin Bush, returns it to the 33-yard line of the Cougars. $7:59 remaining in the third quarter, with Academy leading 31-7, and have just made an interception. snap back to Cephas. He will hand off to Rouse. Rouse up the middle. He drives for 6 yards. 2nd down and 4. Rouse, a big back. Rouse to the right of Cephas. Twins right. Snap back. Throw over to Hernandez out in the flat. He will pick up the 1st down. He's to the 20-yard line. First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Ball at the far hash with the Bumblebees traveling left to right on your radio dial. Snap back to Cephas. Once again, throws out to McWilliams over in the left flat. Spins around. Looks like he's right close to the yard of gain. As they get it set, we'll see where it's marked. Looks like it's a gain of 9. 2nd down and 1 for Academy. Cephas from the shotgun. Snap back and throw over to Malden. Over in the left flat, the far sideline, and let's see where he spotted the ball. Like he picks up the 1st down. First and goal from the 9-yard line. Carter to the left to Cephas. Cephas drops back. He's looking for Carter in the end zone, and it's over his head. Helmet comes off of the lineman, number 77, Kendall DeCrube. He will have to leave the field and come back after one play. Second and goal for Academy. Snap back to Cephas. Flag thrown on the play. Looks like it's going to be offsides on Jarrell. Not seeing any indication as of yet. That indeed is the call. Cephas working the hard count tonight has gotten, I think that's a 3rd or 4th offsides penalty against Jarrell on the night. That'll be 2nd and goal from the 4. No half the distance on a 5-yard penalty, I guess. .518 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Snap back to Cephas, who hands off to Rouse. Rouse over the left side. He's still rumbling and going. There's going to be a flag thrown. And looks like he was stopped short of the goal line, but I'm thinking a hold.
It looks like a fumble. He
kept
driving and driving, and there was quite a scrum over there. And a holding call, that'll drive them back 10 yards. Declined.
Turnover on downs.
Turnover on down. He fumbled it. So wouldn't be a turnover on downs. That would be a fumble and a turnover.
Well, it's a turnover.
Yeah, it's a turnover anyway. I guess that's no worse than a 51-yard line, right?
Yeah. I seen the line judge pointing like
Right.
directional change. So I was like, what's going on? He threw his beanbag.
1st and 10 from the 1-yard line.
Huge stop for that Jarrell defense. This offense is gonna have to run. They're gonna have to give this
Line is gonna have to drive and make room for the running backs. Rodriguez in the end zone. He takes a snap. He hands off to Compton. Compton, right side. He breaks over the right side into the right at the 10-yard line. Looks like he's just over the 10-yard line. Not quite to the line of gain.
2nd and inches.
And 2nd and inches. We'll call it 1. Rodriguez has the snap. He hands off to Compton, busts up the middle, stays on his feet. He's to the 20-yard line and picks up the first down. And that's what they were doing back in the first that was so successful, was the power run game.
Yeah.
Trips right. Rodriguez looks to the sideline. Gets the snap. He hands to Compton. Compton over the right side between the guard and tackle. He'll pick up 3 yards. Second down and 7. Handoff to Crowders. Crowders around over the left side, and he'll pick up about 3 more yards. And bring up 3rd down and 4. Compton to Rodriguez's left. He passes to Crowders, who gets to the line of gain and just picks up the first down. First and 10 Cougars as they are moving the chains here in the 3rd quarter. 3:22 remaining in the 3rd. Ball at the 31-yard line of the Cougars. Compton to the left of Rodriguez. Rodriguez steps back. He throws out to the flats, trying to find Crowders, but over his head and out of bounds. Incomplete. He'll bring up 2nd and 10. Compton switches sides. He's to the right of Rodriguez. Rodriguez steps back and throws out to Crowders in the flat. He'll pick up a yard, maybe 2. 3rd down and 8. For the Cougars. Third and 8 from the 33-yard line. Rodriguez drops it back. He's being chased, and he will be brought down as he will lose about 8 yards. That'll bring up 4th and 16. As Academy had the Cougar receivers covered, and Rodriguez was running for his life. Compton on to punt the ball away. And the ball is up and takes a Cougar bounce and will roll out of bounds at the Academy 42-yard line. Well, they started out hot on that possession, Thomas, and was able to run the power game and then just lost traction.
Well, it seems like when they get away from the run and start trying to pass the balls when they lose that momentum.
You try to keep from being a one-dimensional team, but that one dimension just seems to be the only thing that's running for you. Cephas hands off to Carter. Carter is swallowed up in the backfield. He will lose a yard on the play. Bring up 2nd and 11. Second and 11 from the 41-yard line of the Bumblebees with 1:08 left in the third quarter, with Academy leading your Jarrell Cougars 31-7. A handoff to Coleman Berg, who's around the right side, and he will gain about 4 yards and will make it 3rd down and 7. Third down and 7 from the 50-yard line. A unique formation, an empty set for Cephas. Drops back, he's looking for a receiver. He's going to go deep. He's found McWilliams.
That's offensive pass interference.
As McWilliams grabbed the jersey of Brian Franco and pulled him down, but no flag on the play for offensive pass interference. And that'll bring up 4th down and 7 for the Bumblebees, and Carlos Hernandez comes on to punt the ball away. Back deep for the Cougars, Crathers and Torres. Hernandez punts this ball away, and Torres muffs it but recovers it at the 27-yard line, or 28-yard line is where they'll spot it.
There's been a lot of muff kicks tonight.
1st and 10 for the Jarrell Cougars from their own 28-yard line, as I'm sure Coach Davidson will definitely be working on his special teams this week. Aaron Rodriguez and his offense back out on the field. Jasper Compton to his left, Joseph Crathers to his right. He hands off to Crathers. Crathers through the left side. He'll pick up right about 5 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 5. That'll end the third quarter. After 3 complete, Academy Bumblebees lead your Jarrell Cougars 31-7. On to the fourth quarter we go, Thomas. It's gut check time.
Yes,
for
sir.
the Cougars. You got to play for pride. Play for each other. Second and 5 for the Cougars. Maybe a little closer to 6. Rodriguez checks over his line. He passes out to the flat. And the catch is made by Joseph Crowthers. That'll be a pickup of 5, and we'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Third and 1 for the Cougars. Trips left. Rodriguez takes a snap and hands off to Compton. Compton around the right side. He picks up the first down and goes out of bounds. First and 10 for the Cougars. That was a hard-fought carry for Jasper Compton. Trips left. Rodriguez throws over the middle and finds Joseph Crowthers. Crowthers with a 15-yard reception and another Cougar first down. Looks like Rodriguez starting to find a little comfort in the passing game. As the Cougars are driving. Like a timeout, an official timeout is called.
They're calling the Jarrell training crew over to the sidelines.
Interesting. Wetter to the right, Compton to the left. Rodriguez drops back. He's looking for his receiver, and it's into the hands of a Bumblebee defender, Corbin Bush, with the interception, and another costly turnover when the Cougars were driving.
You know, it's like the quarterback wants to go deep, but, I mean, I don't think he has the arm strength to throw it that far deep. Every time he's tried to go deep like that, his passes have been shortened.
Right.
And right into the hands of the Academy Bumblebees.
Bumblebees have a 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Jerry Cephas and his offense back out on the field. Snap back to Cephas, who rolls right. He's looking for a receiver, and he will just take it himself and go out of bounds. Pickup of about 2 yards on the play, depending on the spot. It looks like they're setting at the 50-yard line, so that will bring up 2nd down and 8. .26 remaining in the game, with the Bumblebees leading your Cougars 31-7. Carter to the right of Cephas from the shotgun. Throw over to Britt Malden, who rolls to the ground. It'll be a
33.
3rd and about 3. It'll be a pickup of 5. Snap to Cephas, throws out to his right and hits McWilliams, who picks up the first down. Moving the chains, he was brought down at the 33-yard line of the Cougars. Carter to the left to Cephas. Malden wide left. McWilliams wide right. Cephas drops back. He's looking for a receiver. He puts this one up in the air. It's way over the head of McWilliams and out of bounds. Incomplete. I believe that was Tegan Jones and not McWilliams. That is correct. The intended receiver was number 35, Tegan Jones. We'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Carter to the right. Cephas drops back and delivers to McWilliams over the 20-yard line and down to the 18 for another Bumblebee first down. And this quarterback is finding his targets all over the field.
Yes, he is. He's been pursuing.
Carter to the left of Cephas. And he will keep. He's going to the left side. He's through. And he will pick up. It looks like 9 yards. Maybe 10. And he picked up the first down. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Bumblebees. First and goal from the 7-yard line. That's going to be a false start on DeKrube, and that'll drive the Cougars, or not the Cougars, but the Bumblebees back 5 yards. First and goal from the 12. For Academy. Johnny Rouse in to the right of Jerry Cephas. Cephas rolls right. He's looking for a receiver. He finds Britt Malden at the 5-yard line, I believe. Down to the 5, so it'll bring up 3rd down or 2nd down and 5. Or 2nd down and goal from the 5, I should say.
Yeah.
8:07 remains in the game. Cephas drops back. He's looking for a receiver. He's just going to take it himself to the house. Touchdown, Bumblebees. They have taken a 30-point lead over the Cougars here in the 4th. That touchdown with 8 minutes remaining in the quarter. And Carlos Hernandez will come on for the PAT. Good snap and hold. The kick is up and through the uprights. 38-7 Academy over your Jarrell Cougars with 8 minutes left in the fourth. Another costly turnover, Thomas, of interception that turns into 7 points.
Yeah, that's definitely not good. I mean, you got to protect the ball. I mean, Academy's leading the turnover ratio, what, 3-1? 4-1. 3 interceptions, a fumble recovery to their 1 fumble.
Back deep to receive for your Cougars, Jasper Compton and Joseph Crothers. As Carlos Hernandez will kick off for the Bumblebees. And the kick is up. This is booted deep. And it was weighed for a fair catch by Crothers and bounces forward. I'm not sure. It may have been recovered by Academy. We'll wait for the sign. And it's Cougar football. Cougars were able to recover. It looks like Brian Franco was able to get on the muffed kickoff.
What's that, like 10 muff kicks tonight?
Several.
Yeah.
At least 4, I believe.
I guess that's true. When it rains, it pours.
First and 10 from the 30.
Coming off a bye week, you figured Jarrell would have had all this worked out.
Well, we've not seen these mistakes on special teams up to this game. $7:55 remaining in the game. Aaron Rodriguez with Jasper Compton to his left, drops back. He's looking for Charles Cuerra. Charles has it. He's to the 40. And that should be a first down. First and 10, Cougars from the 40. Rodriguez has a snap. He finds Joseph Crothers wide open. That'll pick up another first down on an 11-yard reception by Crothers. And the Cougars moving once again.
This hurry-up offense is definitely working in their advantage.
First and 10, the snap back to Rodriguez. He was looking for Crothers out in the flat and throws wide. Actually, I believe that was Cuerra. And falls incomplete, 2nd and 10 for the Cougars. Snap back to Rodriguez as he was looking for Anthony Brown over the middle. Incomplete. Bring 3rd down and 10. As the Cougars have gone exclusively with the pass in this series. Rodriguez throws out to Crothers, who's going to be short. His forward progress will take him to just over, well, to the 39-yard line of the Bumblebees and bring up 4th and about a yard. Fourth and 1. Rodriguez takes a snap. He hands off to Compton. Compton over the left side. He will pick up the first down. He's still on his feet. He is on his feet and down to the 18-yard line. What a pickup by Jasper Compton. As he busts through that left side, as they went pass, and then bust off a run and pick up the first down. Snap back to Rodriguez. He's looking for his receiver, Charles Huerta. In and out of the hands, falls incomplete. Second down and 10. Second and 10 from the 18-yard line. 6:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. Compton to the right of Rodriguez. Trips right. And it's going to be a false start. Brennan Wilson started just a bit too early. Penalties have a tendency to kill momentum, Thomas.
Yes, they do.
You're listening to Jarrell Cougar Football on SHN Sports. Michael Francis alongside Thomas Montemayor, bringing you all the action. Snap back to Rodriguez. He's rolling right. He's looking for his receiver. He finds Crothers wide open, and it's in and out of his hands in the end zone. Wide open on a fade route. That'll bring up third down and 10. Crothers is wishing he had that one back. Compton to the left of Rodriguez. Rodriguez rolls. He's being chased. He's going to throw this one out of bounds. Rodriguez thrown down pretty hard.
By his neck.
And no flag for roughing the passer. 4th and 10. Academy leading this one 38-7 with 5:55 remaining in the game. Compton to the right of Rodriguez. He has a snap. He drops back. He's looking for Schamberger in the end zone and throws it out of bounds. Turnover on downs when the Cougars had momentum going their way, Thomas.
The penalty killed it.
And that's been kind of the story.
Yeah. I mean, you have momentum, you make a foolish error, and it kills it.
Academy will take over on downs from the 17-yard line.
At this point, I'm willing to say Academy's just going to run the ball and eat the clock now. Their backup quarterback's in. Their starter's pretty much done for the day.
Get his number here in just a moment. I'll let you know who that is. Quarterback keeper.
Number 10.
Number 10, Ryan White. He's still on his feet. He's up to, looks like the 48-yard line as they mark forward progress. That'll be another Bumblebee first down. Pick up a 35 yard. Snap back to White, throw over, and it's to his receiver. It looks like they may have coughed it up. And they did. It's a turnover, and the Cougars have recovered. And take over as the receiver was trying to extend the play. As he reached his arm out, the ball was knocked out and rolls on the carpet. And the Cougars recover. Once again, we would like to thank our sponsors, Booth This Way and Primed Computers, for sponsoring Jarrell Cougar football. Aaron Rodriguez and the Cougar offense back out on the field. Snap back to Rodriguez. Looks like there may be an encroachment penalty. Actually, I think we have a new quarterback. I missed that. His jersey was turned. That would be
number
18. Aiden Edgar. Aiden Edgar at the quarterback spot. And they will walk off 5 yards. First and 5 from the Cougar 45-yard line. Snap back to Edgar. He drops back. He rolls to his right, and he's going to keep, and he will run out of bounds right at the 48-yard line. Bring up 2nd down and 2. Second and 2 for the Cougars. Edgar looks over his line. Hard count. He hands off to Compton. Compton's met in the backfield, and he rolls over to the left side, and he's through the left side of the line. He will pick up the first down. And I tell you, I personally saw number 65 grab the face mask of Jasper Compton, and it went uncalled.
Yeah, that white hat's not throwing a flag at all.
And I don't try to blame anything on the referees, but
if it happens right in front of you, I mean,
to me it was flagrant, and it went uncalled. Snap back to Edgar, bat snap, the ball's on the turf. He rolls left looking for a receiver. He's just going to try to throw it out of bounds. We'll bring up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 from the Bumblebee 38-yard line. 4:36 remaining in the game. The Cougars trailing 38-7. Snap back to Edgar. He hands off to Compton. Compton rolling around the right side. His left foot slips, and he goes to the turf. And he will lose a yard on the play. Third down and 11 for the Cougars. Snap back to Edgar. He hands off to Wetter. Wetter around the right side. He's still on his feet. He busts through to the middle of the field and picks up right at 10 yards. It'll be short about a yard. That'll be a 4th and 1. But it's a short one. Aiden Edgar calls for the snap. He'll hand off to Compton. Compton over to the left side. And he goes around to the left side. He does pick up the first down, but he had it. He had that first down about 3 times, and he would reverse field and bounce back, as you say. Picks up the first down. 1st and 10 Cougars from the 27 of the Bumblebees. 3:07 remaining in the game. And the Cougars threatening late. Egger heads off to Huerta. Huerta around to the right side. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the play. Be 2nd and 7. Compton to Edgar's right. We're a wide right. Edgar drops back. He's looking for Schamberger in the end zone and finds him for a touchdown. Touchdown, Cougars. Just what the doctor ordered. As the Cougars cut into the lead, 38-13 with 2:24 remaining in the game. Looks like the Cougars will be going for 2. Snap back to Cougar, or to the quarterback, and Crathers muffs it, muffs the handoff, and he loses about 15 yards. So the 2-point conversion fails, and Cougars will be kicking off to Academy, and you just might, Thomas, see an onside kick attempt.
2 minutes left. You're down by 25. I wouldn't do it. Let's kick it deep. Let's get this one in the books and get ready for Rockdale next week.
Well, that's the call by Thomas Montemayor, folks.
Well, I mean, you got a tough opponent next week. Rockdale is defending state champs.
Right.
You know, yeah, they lost everybody, and you know they sent their quarterback and wide receiver to D1 schools. So.
Well, we've kind of seen some unconventional play calling this evening.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Academy's lined up ready for an onside kick.
Looks like they have their hands team out there. Jesus Perez on to kick off, and he does do an onside kick, and it's recovered by Academy. Corbin Bush with the recovery, and
I mean, the only bad thing about an onside kick, if you don't recover it, you know, Academy's been on fire. You know, you're giving that offense great field position, and I mean,
Ryan White brings his offense back out on the field. Looks like it's all starters with the exception of White. Carter to his right. White will keep, and he will be stopped behind the line. He'll lose 3 yards.
Number 50 with the sack. Is that Devin Hester? Who's number 50?
Number 50 is Devin Warren. Timeout called. Up second down and about 13. It's like a loss of 3 on the play. .2:14 remaining in the game. Ball on the Academy 47. Carter to the right of White. White has a snap. He rolls right. He's looking for a receiver. And it's going to be intercepted by the Jarrell Cougars. Up with a big interception
Number 5.
C.J. Allen with the pickoff. Big turnover for the Cougars as that pass was underthrown by White. 2:04 remaining in the game. The ball on the 24-yard line of the Cougars. .76 yards to pay dirt. Edgar from the shotgun. He's looking for a receiver. He's going deep. He's looking for Schamberger, and it's picked off by Deshaun Robinson. Robinson's still on his feet, and he will be brought down, thrown down by Anthony Brown.
Well, you give and give. The Academy gave it away, and Jarrell gave it away.
Ball on the 28. I guess you can look at it as a 4-yard punt. Maybe. 1:49 remaining in the game. Johnny Rouse to the left of Ryan White. Malden split left. McWilliams split right. Handoff to Rouse up the middle. And he is dragging Troy Douglas along with him. Douglas had his ankle wrapped up, and, and Rouse just keeps pulling him along. Pick up a 6. That'll bring up 2nd down and 4. I think that was Ryan with the keeper.
I don't get the point.
Loss of 1. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
I don't get the point of taking a timeout with 58 seconds left.
I didn't see who took it.
Jarrell did.
Jarrell took it?
Trailing by 25.
Yeah, I don't understand that much either. But 58 seconds remain in this one. With Jarrell trailing 38-13. Third and 5. With the ball on the 23-yard line. Rouse to White's right. White rolls right, and it's picked off. And there's a penalty flag thrown. I believe a face mask might have been pulled. It'll be a turnover. And we'll sort out the rest. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our fine sponsors, Booth This Way. Bring life to your party with photos from Booth This Way. Photos from Booth This Way create enjoyable memories that will last a lifetime. Jarrell Special, 4 hours for only $400. This includes unlimited 2x6 prints, a USB memory stick, and an upgraded backdrop. For more information, visit bootthisway.com. That's bootthisway.com. A special thanks to Wayne Turner and Booth This Way for your generous support of Jarrell Cougars football. We'd also like to thank Prime Computers. Prime Computers is excited to be a new part of the Jarrell community. We're easily located next to Sphere Realty. going to be a offsides on Academy. Edgar has it, and he rolls to the right. He's up to the 40-yard line and goes out of bounds. So they may decline and take the play. Now it looks like they're going to walk the penalty off. I think they had more yards with the other, so.
They did.
Bring it up 1st down and 5. Edgar drops back, and this pass is intercepted by Corbin Bush.
It just, to me, it's like.
And another flag thrown.
It's going to be face mask. It's just like, let's exchange back and forth.
Seesaw through the end of the game. 37 seconds remain in this one. Face mask, so an additional 15 yards will be tacked on. Ball will be spotted at the 47-yard line of Academy with the 37 seconds. It should be victory formation. 1st and 10, and Academy takes a knee, and that should do it. So as teams exchange handshakes, kind of a strange end to this one, as within the last 2 minutes there was a total of 3 interceptions thrown.
4.
4?
Jarrell threw 2. Academy threw 2.
Well, 4 interceptions thrown within the last 2 minutes of the game.
So I'm saying it was seesaw.
Right. But Academy will win this one 38-13 over your Jarrell Cougars. A disappointing loss, as any playoff hopes that Jarrell hoped to have needed to come in the form of a victory in this game tonight, and unfortunately are on the wrong end of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
As they drop a disappointing loss to the Little River Academy Bumblebees. Thomas, you have reflections on this one as to what really cost this game throughout the whole process of the game?
Well, what cost Jarrell this game is, for one, they started out slow. You know, they couldn't find their unity. They weren't on the same page, both offensively and defensively. Then they had a lot of mental error breakdowns. You can't turn over the ball for as much as they did. I know Aaron Hernandez had 4 interceptions. The backup quarterback had 2. That's 6 interceptions, not including the fumbles lost. I mean, you lose a turnover war, you're going to lose the game.
Right.
I mean, Academy took every mishap that Jarrell was doing and used it to their advantage.
A disappointing loss for the Jarrell Cougars tonight at the hands of the Academy Bumblebees, as the schools now listen to their school songs and close out the game. We'd like to thank Booth This Way and Prime Computers for their generous sponsorship of Jarrell Cougar football. Next up for the Cougars will be, just as you mentioned earlier, Rockdale. Defending state champs. And
I had the honor of seeing Rockdale play Lexington earlier this year in Taylor. And Rockdale's got a pretty solid team. Sad to say, I don't think Jarrell's going to be able to compete with them.
Well, they've had a tough gamut through the district so far as they've been handled. They've won one district game. I believe that was versus Lago Vista, is their only district win so far. 2 games remain for Jarrell on the season. That'll be Rockdale the next week and Maynard New Tech the following week, which Jarrell should be able to compete in and win that game.
I don't know. Maynard New Tech, one thing about Austin districts, I mean, they have athletes. You know, Austin's one of the districts that have its open enrollment.
Right.
So, I mean, I understand Maynard New Tech's now it's their what they classified their first year for seniors, but I mean,
they're 1-6 on the season so far, and they're 0-3 in district. So, just looking at that and looking at common opponents, it just appeared that Jarrell should be able to compete and possibly win that game.
Well, it also depends on what Jarrell team decides to show up.
That's true. That's true. So 2 games remain on the season for the Jarrell Cougars. And hopefully they can pick up a win out of those 2. But they fall tonight to Academy 38-13. And you've been listening to Jarrell Cougar football on SHN Sports. Your play-by-play brought to you by Michael Francis and my color analyst, Thomas Montemayor, doing a fine job running the camera and providing color for the game. And we thank you for listening to Jarrell Cougar football. We'll see you next week at Rockdale. Good night, everybody, and God bless. We'll see you then.